Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. So, if you've ever actually tried to sit through a 5 hour municipal council meeting, you know it is an absolute marathon, right? You've got dry agendas, endless parliamentary procedure, and just so much government jargon. But hidden within all those long, drawn out meetings are the actual decisions that directly shape your town, your local taxes, and even your weekend plans. So today, we are taking the Wasaga Beach Council meeting from July 16th, 2026, and we're just boiling it down to the absolute essentials.
Okay, let's dive into this. We are looking at a master agenda that was packed with 17 really dense, pretty complicated items. But we're going to go ahead and skip all that bureaucratic noise and the roll calls so we can focus entirely on the real civic impact. Basically, we want to answer one question. How do these specific decisions change life in Wasaga Beach for you today?
To keep things moving, here is our roadmap for today. Part 1 is beach life and recreation. Part 2 is infrastructure and big bucks. 3, advocating for the community. And finally, Part 4, behind closed doors.
All right, jumping right into Section 1, Beach Life and Recreation, Local Places and Tangible Impacts. We're starting off with what Wasaga is definitely most famous for, right? The beach and our local community spaces. These are the frontline decisions that you actually see, feel, and interact with every single day. And a really great example of local democracy in action here is the citizens' delegation. So, in this meeting, a local resident named Brent Martiner actually stepped right up to the microphone. His proposal, well, he wants to bring a food vendor cart to New Wasaga and Allenwood Beach. It's honestly a perfect illustration of how everyday residents and entrepreneurs can interact directly with the council to propose those small, tangible changes that can really boost the local beachfront experience for everyone. Now, $400,000. What is really interesting about this massive figure is exactly where it's coming from. I mean, that is a significant chunk of change in any municipal budget, and it represents a pretty major shift in how the town is handling its waterfront resources. You see, the town isn't just, losing this money or giving it back. Instead, council approved a highly strategic pivot. They are officially scrapping the scheduled improvements for the 2nd Street boat launch, which, by the way, were initially supposed to happen during the fall 2026 phase of the beachfront reconstruction contract. But here's the crucial point. This $400,000 in capital savings stays right within the project budget. So instead of trying to force a square peg into a round hole, council has directed staff to find alternative, just way more suitable locations for boat launch upgrades in town. Specifically, they are zeroing in on the existing launch at the end of the Janetta Street parking lot. It's actually a fantastic example of a municipality reallocating your taxpayer funds when a better logistical path just sort of presents itself. And speaking of real estate and local spaces, we have a bit of a geographical naming rights shuffle happening that you should definitely know about. Basically, the Rotary Club of Wasaga Beach is moving its namesake. Council officially approved transferring the Rotary Room naming rights from its old home at the Wasaga Stars Arena and Library all the way over to what was known as the Oakview Room at the Recplex. So from now on, the Oakview Room is the Rotary Room. And hey, if you are a local business or organization, take note, because that old space at the arena and library is now officially a blank canvas. Town staff have been directed to advertise the opportunity for a brand new naming rights sponsor. Moving on to Section 2, Infrastructure and Big Bucks, Tracking Town Resources and Policies. Let's talk about a resource we literally all rely on, water. Council received a major report on the, brace yourself for this title, Ontario Water and Wastewater Public Service Corporation Framework. I know, that sounds incredibly dry and dense, but let's break it down to what it actually means for us. The town is submitting what's called an expression of interest, or an EOI, to the province of Ontario. Now, if you start seeing local headlines about this, do not panic. An EOI is purely an information gathering initiative. It is absolutely not a commitment by Wasaga Beach to participate in some regional water corporation, and no, the town is not moving to privatize your local water supply. They are simply securing a seat at the table so they can get more detailed information from the province and to actively monitor how a similar pilot project rolling out in Peel region actually performs. It's all about staying informed without actually signing the dotted line. Council also gave the green light to a brand new policy governing the municipal accommodation tax, which is commonly known as the MAT. This is absolutely vital to the town's economic engine because MAT funds are generated directly from visitor stays. So think hotels, motels, and short-term rentals. This newly approved use policy acts as the official rulebook. It dictates exactly how those tourist dollars will be collected and then reinvested right back into the town to support local infrastructure, tourism initiatives, and community services.
It's a critical financial mechanism for ensuring that visitors are helping pay for the maintenance of the town resources they use while they're out enjoying the beach.
All right, Section 3, Advocating for the Community, Wasaga Beach lobbying the province.
So, local government isn't just about what happens inside the town's borders, right? It's also about leveraging Wasaga Beach's political voice to influence larger province wide issues. Council reviewed a massive stack of correspondence from other Ontario municipalities, which really shows the wide scope of civic advocacy they're backing right now. For example, they are formally supporting initiatives from places like Merrickville and North Grenville, pushing for better traffic calming and speed mitigation techniques. They're also backing Ship Township's push to fix the OPP funding model in Northern Ontario, which honestly impacts how policing resources are distributed across the whole province. On top of that, they are supporting a really vital push from Wawa and Ramara for Finley's Law, which heavily targets emergency room wait times and broader healthcare reform. Oh, and they are even backing Halton Hills on modernizing the rules around invasive plants to protect local agriculture and natural heritage. It really just shows how interconnected these municipal councils are when it comes to lobbying the provincial government for real systemic change.
And finally, Section 4, Behind Closed Doors, the Confidential Council Business.
It is time to take a peek behind the municipal curtain and look at the confidential business the council actually handles away from the cameras. So, what exactly happens in a closed session? It's a great question, and one a lot of taxpayers ask. Now, transparency is definitely the golden rule in municipal government, but under the Municipal Act, certain highly sensitive topics literally have to be discussed away from the public eye. This is strictly to protect the town's legal interests, to safeguard financial negotiations, or to protect the privacy of specific individuals. During this specific July 16th meeting, Council invoked 3 specific legal exemptions to close the doors. Step 1, they dealt with active litigation at the Ontario Land Tribunal, specifically case number OLT-2600494. Obviously, discussing their legal strategy in public would completely compromise the town's case, hence the closed door. Step 2 involved a human resource matter concerning a specific identifiable employee that is rightfully kept private to protect their personal information. And Step 3? Well, this involved active, ongoing negotiations for something they are officially referring to as the Destination Wasaga Initiative. Destination Wasaga Initiative. It's an incredibly provocative phrase to end on, isn't it? Because this item falls under Section 239 of the Municipal Act, which covers a plan or instruction to be applied to ongoing negotiations. Literally, all the details are currently locked down tight. But it certainly leaves you wondering, what massive plans, land deals, or partnerships is the town currently negotiating in secret that could entirely reshape the future of the beach? That is a major developing story we are absolutely going to need to keep our eyes on as those negotiations eventually come into the public light. Thanks so much for taking the time to get informed with this explainer. You are now fully caught up on the July 16th council meeting, and we'll see you next time as we continue to translate the decisions that shape your world.